for the freedom of religion, the freedom of their belief in God, their freedom for the practice of their religion. That's why in the First Amendment in the U.S. Constitution, and think about this, it got something called freedom of speech, because they didn't have that in England, because of the Church of, what do you call it? The Church of England. They did not have the rights for freedom of speech, like you can stand here and speak on whatever topic you want. That's a freedom that America has given because the founding fathers came here and they did not have that rights there, so they came here. And they established that here, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of the press. You realize you read that all? Those you guys who are students, didn't you read all of this? Does it bring back some things to memory? Freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of religion, and there is something else. Freedom to assemble. See this assembly? Do you know in some Muslim countries you may be able to assemble for Jummah? Do you know that, yeah? You know that, right? But do you know you cannot speak what you want to speak? The king of that country tells you what to speak. In some Muslim countries, the prime ministers and presidents dictate what you speak. But because the law of Islam says you must have Jummah with a Jamaat, and Jummah is the congregation of the Jamaat, the people congregating, so it's the Jummah Salah. They cannot stop the Jummah Salah. But what do? They do not allow freedom of speech. So the president and the prime ministers of these so-called Muslim countries, and I don't call name because some of you belong to those countries. Well, I mean, no, you're not a citizen here, but you came from those countries. But you could tell your prime ministers that America is better than them. America is better than them. And I don't have a problem if you tell them I say that too. See? That's what you call dictatorship. And that's what the pilgrims from Britain came to America to have, that freedom. Freedom to assemble. So Muslim countries, in some of them, allow you to assemble, but they have their law where the imams are given a written speech. Do you know that, Wazir Sahib? Or you got to get your speech approved. So you are just a bunch of robots. That's why you are a better Muslim living in America than some of these Muslim countries. So America now did not just have freedom of assembly. They have freedom of assembly in these Muslim countries because the Quran says, Jummah. إِذَا نُورِيَ لَلصَّلَاةِ مِنْ يَوْمِ الْجُمَّةِ فَاسْعَوْا إِلَىٰ ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. And when the call for Jummah is proclaimed, hasten to the prayer. So they can't stop that. But they restrict the freedom of speech. America said, no. You have rights to assemble. That's in the amendment and the Constitution. You have the rights to assemble, as we do. You have the right to your speech. I can stand here and criticize Biden, Obama, Bush, or Trump. There are certain limits you don't personally attack, but you can speak on the rights of humanity, the betterment of the country, and the rights for the people, and the betterment for the people. That's the freedom.